Show for today. We're talking to Dr. LMadu, and he's given us some information in reference to the organization of the Muslim Brotherhood, as well as additional information dealing with this spiritual political organization, Dr. LMadu, I think we might say. Why don't you go on and pick up at that point, Dr. LMadu?
Like I said, in the mid-1930s to late 1930s, his organization that was originally founded, as a religious organization to oppose, Western influence in the Middle East, gradually started taking a political face. It started opposing French and British colonial rule in the Middle East. Once a return to the Suez Canal, to Egypt, and also started criticizing and opposing King Farouk and his court, which he believed was corrupt. Inevitably, there has to be a conflict with the authorities. The authorities were getting scared and frightened about Banner's growing power with the masses, because everything he was saying was what the majority of Egyptians wanted, for themselves. So that was threatened to the court. So in 1948, the organization was banned, by the government of Egypt. Its assets impounded, and a lot of its, members arrested. However, that same year, a Muslim Brotherhood member assassinated the Prime Minister, LMadu Pasha, in 1948. Well, in 1949, most people regard it as a retaliation. Banner himself was assassinated in February, 1949. After he was assassinated, his second in command, so-called, a man called Said Qutb, took over. When Qutb took over, the organization became more radical. Qutb was also an Islamic scholar and intellectual. In fact, he was the godfather of Osama bin Laden and his current, Ayman al-Zawahiri. All of them grew under his tutelage. So he became the spiritual guide of the Brotherhood. So it didn't take time for 1952 to come around. The Egyptian free officers overthrew King Farouk, and Abdel Nasser came to power. When Nasser came to power, the Brotherhood, they wanted to come out and say, hey, Nasser, we support you, you and the officers. So Nasser welcomed them back. Remember, they were banned in 48. So Nasser welcomed them back, and Nasser was talking with Qutb all the time, seeking his advice. But in 1954, a Brotherhood member wanted to assassinate Nasser. But they fired some shots at him at a meeting. So Nasser got mad, banned the organization, arrested all its members. In 1966, Qutb was executed, after he was tried and accused of attempting to assassinate Abdel Nasser. That was in 66. So he stayed banned until Anwar Sadat came to power in 1971. When Sadat came to power in 71, he started releasing people, from jail and cracked down on a lot of the activities of Egyptian secret police. So he unbanned the Brotherhood.